ridiculous. This league is so damn unprofessional. It's not even funny. You mean to tell me that you guys had fans paying for these like meet and greets or whatever it was, and you guys, some of y'all no-showed, just flat out no-showed. Some of y'all had the fans waiting in hours because you were coming hours and hours late because y'all was out with the stud buds getting drunk all night.
They don't think they need to go the extra mile. They don't even think they need to show up on time for fan meet and greet and autograph sessions, pretty much spitting in fans' faces. Fans who traveled maybe across the country to get that opportunity. Fans who maybe saved month after month after month after month to get enough money to buy a plane ticket, save enough money to get a train ticket, to get All-Star tickets, to get a hotel, to get an opportunity to meet and greet some of their favorite players. There was one player that showed up to these meet and greets on time. There was one player that wasn't out the night before grinding in the club. There was one player that actually does go above and beyond. There's one player that actually does put in the extra work. There's actually one player that clearly doesn't feel entitled to the fans she has. She understands she needs to work for those fans that she has. She needs to
be fair, there were a few players who showed up on time to everything. Caitlin Clark in particular was very punctual for every obligation she had. She gave away her shoes, signed autographs, hugged fans, and competed hard in the All-Star game where we bought 6 tickets at over $450 each. More than $2,700 for our family to be there, so nearly $3,000.
WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be the one time each year when the fans who spend their hard-earned money on tickets, jerseys, and travel could finally connect with the players they support. Instead, many left Chicago with a disappointing experience and a story they never expected to tell. Rather than feeling appreciated, a number of fans walked away frustrated, raising questions about how some of the league's biggest stars interacted with the very people who helped make the event possible.
I'm not saying you scamming the fans, but I'm like, yo, bro, people paying money, bro. Be more mindful of what people paying for, yo. Cause to watch y'all do all this other BS that y'all was doing, it don't even make no sense. Y'all shooting air balls, y'all missing wide open layups, like y'all literally showed that y'all didn't care.
The league promoted WNBA Live presented by AWS as a weekend packed with meet and greets, player appearances, and opportunities for fans to create lasting memories. But for many who attended, the experience fell far short of those expectations. One of the biggest complaints surfaced almost immediately. Fans who had paid for access to designated meet and greet sessions said they were told, just as they reached the front of the line, that photos with players were no longer permitted. To many, it didn't feel like a simple policy change. It felt like a last-minute reversal. After waiting in line with their phones ready, expecting the photo opportunities advertised in the event materials, they were left disappointed instead.
We attended WNBA Live and waited in line over 2 hours to meet a couple of the top name athletes. They showed up 40 minutes late, signed autographs for 10 minutes, and left. This happened several times throughout the weekend. My children were in tears after waiting for hours only to be turned away. To be fair, there were a few players who showed up on time to everything. Caitlin Clark, in particular, was punctual for every obligation she had. She gave away her shoes, signed autographs, hugged fans, and competed hard in the All-Star game, where we bought 6 tickets at over $450 each, more than $2,700 for our family to be there. She clearly understands that fans can make or break a career, and she came across as a genuinely good person. I was deeply disappointed in several of the other players showing up 40 minutes late and signing autographs for 10 minutes.
And that's where this story really begins, not with a single headline, but with a series of small disappointments that fans pieced together after comparing their experiences online. Some described rushed autograph sessions, others said players walked past designated fan areas without stopping, and a few pointed to sponsor appearances that ended much earlier than expected. On their own, none of these moments might have seemed significant, but taken together, they painted a picture that left many attendees feeling let down. After all, All-Star Weekend is supposed to be a celebration of the fans who make the league possible.
All-Star is supposed to be a fan experience. You guys blew it, man. Y'all absolutely blew it. Chicago. I was just in downtown Chicago. Y'all saw me doing videos from a hotel room. I was in downtown Chicago for 4 or 5 days 3 weeks ago. And that wasn't All-Star Weekend. And the hotels were expensive. I paid $1,500 for 3 days, I think. No, like $1,800 for 3 days. So I know they're at nearly $3,000. That's not including flights, hotels, Ubers, food, nothing. And this is how the fan got treated. Ain't this some shit? Pardon the language. Like, come on, man. I mean, this is messed up. It's messed up.
As those moments continue to pile up over the course of the same weekend, involving several of the league's biggest stars, many fans stopped viewing them as isolated incidents. Instead, they began asking a broader question about the overall fan experience. If All-Star Weekend is meant to celebrate the league's supporters, why did so many attendees leave feeling overlooked? For some, it raised concerns about whether certain players were fully engaged with the event or simply treating it as another obligation to complete before moving on.
Abomination of basketball is what the WNBA All-Star game was.
All-Star games, though.
They have to treat it a little more serious. The MNBA needs to treat the All-Star game differently if you want people to care, and the W needs to treat the All-Star game differently if you want people to care. It all stinks.
It set the record for attendance.
I know, and those
All-Star.
19,000 fans deserved better. My one takeaway was, wow, how cool was it to see 19,000 fans stack the United Center to watch WNBA All-Star, and then the game itself was an abomination of basketball. Even Caitlin Clark during the game, while walking off with Holly Rowe, they were doing like a little side-by-side. She said, let's play a little bit. Let's play. Come on, everybody, let's play.
No.
By no means is this the most important thing in the world. It's another All-Star game. But if you're gonna have the All-Star game, I don't understand why you don't actually play.
To be fair, All-Star Weekend is an incredibly demanding event. Players spend just a few days juggling skills competitions, the three-point contest, sponsor commitments, media appearances, community events, and the All-Star game itself. It's a packed schedule, and no one reasonably expects every player to spend unlimited time with every fan. But many attendees felt there was a noticeable difference between players who were simply busy and those who seemed disengaged. According to fans who shared their experiences, that contrast became apparent depending on which player they happened to meet during the weekend.
This sounds like something that WNBA players would do every time if they had the ultimate divas, the ultimate diva athletes to ever exist. The most entitled athletes to ever exist, entitled, and they deliver a substandard product outside of CC22. You take another look. We were at WNBA Live Friday and Saturday. Almost everyone was 30 minutes late minimum. It was crazy. Caitlin was on time for...
Some fans described the exact same booth on the exact same day, feeling completely different depending on who rotated through it.
Many fans even compared experiences at the very same booths on the very same day, saying the atmosphere changed completely depending on which player was there. Some described players who took a moment to make eye contact, greet fans warmly, or ask a child's name before signing an autograph. Others recalled interactions that felt much more hurried, with quick signatures and little conversation before the player moved on. That contrast became a major topic of discussion because it suggested the experience wasn't determined by scheduling alone. While every player faced the same demanding weekend, fans felt some made an extra effort to create meaningful moments, while others kept their interactions as brief as possible.
Okay, here it says, saw this comment on YouTube claiming that the WNBA All-Star meet and greet, Caitlin was apparently one of the few players who showed up on time. If that's true, fans who paid to meet the players deserved better. They 1000% deserve better. Everybody was out, too busy out, getting drunk, smoking weed, probably doing a couple bumps, lines of coke, all types of stuff. Y'all was out doing everything. It turned it into Freaknik.
Which brings us to Caitlin Clark. Her All-Star Weekend stood in sharp contrast to many of the complaints circulating online. Fans shared stories of Clark surprising one supporter by giving away a pair of her own shoes after a game, something that wasn't a one-time gesture. Earlier in the season, following a preseason victory over New York, she had done the same for another fan. During All-Star Weekend, she expanded that idea even further by encouraging fans to search for hidden pairs of her unreleased Nike signature shoes placed throughout Chicago. What could have been a simple giveaway became an interactive citywide scavenger hunt, giving supporters another memorable way to be part of the weekend.
Guys, don't lean over, okay? Thank you.
Consider what an event like that likely involved behind the scenes. Organizing a city-wide shoe hunt would have required advanced planning, coordination with brand partners, selecting locations, and creating an experience that extended beyond a brief appearance. Rather than limiting fan interaction to a short signing session, the idea gave supporters another way to participate throughout the weekend. To many fans, it reflected an effort to make the event feel more memorable. Instead of treating fan engagement as just another stop on a busy schedule, the initiative suggested a deliberate focus on creating an experience that attendees would remember long after All-Star Weekend ended.
Caitlin, I'm curious, did you hook up any teammates or anybody with the shoe? Or I mean, we're
Courtney
seeing
Williams is rocking them tonight, which, like, I've had multiple people ask for them. I only have size 9 right now, so they're actually playing in my samples.
That's actually
my size 2.
Both the stud boats have them on. Both the stud boats have them on. So, yeah, this is a pretty fun pair, and you're looking at, I think it's like Valentine's Day edition. You got the charm on there, but I was going to wear some all-white ones. I'm like, that's not fun enough. We got to break out some fire.
I had to level up.
So cute with the color. The ombre matches the jersey.